Hi boys and girls, today we're going to look at 6.2D real world applications. You will need your math journal and your pencil. Set up your page, go ahead and pause the video, and you're going to title your next page in your journal 6.2D real world application, and then separate it into 4 sections. Pause the video and do this now. Alright boys and girls, we have a real world problem. We have Andy, Sam, Tom, and Chris who worked on homework for an hour. The table shows how much time was spent on homework. I need you to order the time spent on math homework from greatest to least. So we're going to start with the greatest. So we're going to look at the table, and if you notice, they're all in different representations. So I want to turn them into decimals to be able to compare them. So Andy's already in decimal form. So I'm going to leave Andy's amount alone. 1/2 I know is 5/10. 3500ths, I can move my decimal. That is 3500ths. And then 3/5 I can take 3 and divide by 5. Add a 0, a decimal, a 0. 30 divided by 5 is 6, and that's 30. So I know that my number now is 6/10. So those are my numbers. They are still kind of hard to compare, so I'm going to add trailing zeros now. Because there are 3 digits in Andy's, I'm going to make 3 digits behind the decimal for every number by adding trailing zeros. Now I can compare them. I'm going to draw a line where my decimals are, and I'm just going to look at the numbers behind the decimal. I'm ready to put them in order. The largest number, or the greatest number presented, is Chris, so I'm going to put a C for Chris. The next one is 500, check, and that is Tom. The third one would be Andy, and then the smallest amount would be Sam. That is our order. When we write this, you could use inequality symbols, but more than likely they're just going to have you list the names in order. Alright boys and girls, real world problem number 2. Ron ate 3/8 of a pizza. Jane ate 20% of a pizza. Sam ate 1/3 of a pizza. And Rita ate 25/100 of a pizza. Which shows the names in order from least pizza eaten to the most pizza eaten. So I have different representations again. I'm going to change 3/8 into a decimal, so that is 3 divided by 8, and I'm going to put a 0, a decimal, add a 0. 8 into 30 is 3, that's 24, subtract 6, that's 7, that's 56, that's 4, add another 0, that's 5. So I have 3.75. So I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. This is Ron. Ron has 0.375. Okay, 20%, I can go ahead and use Dr. Pepper, and I'll change colors where you can see the movement. 1, 2. So Jane ate 20%. Sam ate 1/3, and again, I'm not sure what that is. Some of you may. 1/3 is actually 0.33, but we can prove that by doing the division. 1 divided by 3 is 0. Add my decimal and 0. I'm going to put 10 divided by 3 is 3. That's 9. Subtract, that's 1. Add a 0. Wait a minute, it's 3 again. So that is 3 repeating. So Sam is 0.33 repeating. And then Rita is already in decimal form, so I can put 0.25. Now, once again, we have Ron who has a 3-digit number, so we're going to add trailing zeros. But wait a minute, Sam is not a trailing 0. Sam is actually a repeating number. So when we put that down, we need to make sure that that is a 3. This 3 is going. This is a temperature problem, and I gave you a picture to remind you how temperature works. Remember, as we move up, those are positive numbers. As we go down, those are negative numbers, okay? So, it says the temperature in Vancouver is -8. So I'm just going to put -8 on my number line. I'm not going to make it because the temperature gauge is too small, but there's -8. In Montreal, it is -4 degrees Celsius. Is -4 closer to 0, or is it closer moving down to the red part of the mercury? That's right. -4 is closer to 0. So this is the order so far. And this is just a visual I'm using over here on this side. Okay, the thermometer is just a visual. I have -6. Well, where's -6? -6 falls between -4 and 8. And then I have -10, which -10 is further down on the thermometer. So this is the order because I have -3. And eventually it'll get to 0 up here. Okay, so it says order the temperatures from coldest to warmest. So let's think about the temperature. As it moves up, it's getting warmer because we know when it's 90 degrees outside, it's really, really hot. But as it goes down, 32 degrees is actually freezing. So anything below, it's getting colder. So which one is the coldest? Hopefully you said -10. So this is the order that I'm going to write them in for coldest to warmest. It would be -10, -8, -6, -4. Coldest to warmest. Alright, boys and girls, this is going to be number 4, not number 1. And we are comparing times. This is the Houston, Texas 2019 draft class who demonstrated their abilities at the NFL Combine. The players' times for the 40-yard dash are listed in the table. So I want you to look at the times that we have here. They're all lined up, so we don't have to rewrite them. What we do need to look at is the numbers that are listed. If you look at the numbers that have a 4 as a whole number, I know that they are faster than 5.05. Because let's think about time. If it takes me 10 minutes to run a mile and it takes you 5 minutes to run a mile, who is the fastest at running a mile? Hopefully you said you. So if you are the fastest, your time is shorter than mine by 5 minutes because it took me 10 minutes and you 5 minutes. So when we're talking about time, the fastest means what? Hopefully you said the least amount and we're moving towards the greatest or the slowest. So I know that, oops, what's going on here? So I know that Titus Howard is going to be the least amount. So I'm going to put a T over here on the very end because I know he is the slowest. So I need to look at the numbers behind the decimal. Which one is the smallest? So hopefully you said 48. So I'm going to put Xavier, X for Xavier. So I'm done with Xavier. He is the fastest time. The second fastest time would be Lonnie. I'm going to put a 2 by Lonnie and put an L. The third fastest time would be Cullen Gillespie. And then the fourth fastest person would be Cahill. And then